So YouTube ads. Second. Okay. As Tony already said, I've been doing Google ads since 2011. I've done direct response media buying in Facebook, native, pop traffic, affiliate, my own stuff for clients. I manage over $20 million in ad spend. Some of my past clients, Microsoft, Amazing Selling Machine, Kino Body. And I've been doing YouTube advertising itself and focused primarily on that since 2018. So why YouTube ads? YouTube ads inventory. So right now, YouTube has over 2 billion monthly active users. There's 500 hours of content uploaded every minute and 5 billion video views per day. So the inventory is enormous for YouTube. These numbers are from 2018 and 19, so the real numbers are probably higher than this right now. As far as engagement, the average viewing session in YouTube is 40 minutes. People go to YouTube for two main things. They want to be entertained or they want to learn something. They want knowledge. And 95% of the global internet population watches YouTube. So all those things combined, you get quality audiences and you get the ability to scale. That's why you want to work with YouTube ads. Now, what are YouTube ads? You have different types of YouTube ads. You're gonna have the TrueView in-stream ads. Those are the ads that show up right before you're gonna watch your favorite video. And so all of a sudden you see an ad or somebody making something, making faces in the video. You have discovery ads. Those show up once you search for something in Google. And then on the side, you have suggested videos. Sometimes some of those ads on the side are discovery ads. Non-skippable ads are exactly what they sound like, an ad that you can't skip. The overlay ads are banners that show up on top of the video, and bumper ads. They are 6-second non-skippable ads. Now, I mentioned all the ads just so you know what type of ads there are, what type of ad types there are on YouTube. But the reality is when people are talking about YouTube ads, 99% of the time they're referring to TrueView in-stream ads. So TrueView in-stream ads, the way they work is you only get charged whenever there's a view or a interaction, which is a click on the ad. For a view to count, you have to have 30 seconds go by on the ad. That's assuming that the ad is longer than 30 seconds. If the ad is from 11 to 30 seconds, someone has to watch the whole ad for it to count as a view. Here's an example of a YouTube ad, a TrueView in-stream ad. As you can see here on the left, the main screen, that's monday.com. That is the TrueView ad. On the top right corner, you see there's a banner. On desktop, you will have a banner. Sometimes that banner, you can create one or it's automatically generated. It only shows up on desktop. In mobile, you won't have that banner. And if you look a little bit below the video that says learn how to start selling on AMZ, that's discovery ad. So who does YouTube ads work for? The ideal candidates for YouTube ads are the following. These are the guys that I think, the type of products that I think work best. An info product, something $999 and up. It's usually a course of some sort. E-commerce, $50 to $200 is usually the sweet spot. I'd say probably closer to $100, $50 to $100 is a sweet spot. And a service. So a service, if you have a consulting service, an agency, a recurring service fee, anything that's 2K and up, you can set, it's ideal for YouTube ads. I've sold products that are 20K and higher on YouTube ads. Those are the ideal candidates for this type of platform. The not so ideal candidates for this type of platform. So you don't want something with a low average order value, right? And $50 or less. I'm not saying that it can't work, but you're gonna have a problem at some point when you're trying to scale, because whenever you scale and spend more money, your CPA, your cost per acquisition is going to go up. So if you have a product with an average order value of, let's say, $20, it's going to be hard to make that profitable on a consistent basis. So, local clients that have low average order value, it's not ideal for this. Drop shipping, you see a lot of people doing Facebook drop shipping. If it's a low ticket product and they don't have any upsells, that's not ideal. I'm not saying it can't work, but it's going to be a lot harder to make it work. If you're trying to grow your YouTube channel organically, YouTube ads is probably not the way to do it. Or you're just looking for cheap leads, like, hey, I'm getting 50-cent leads in Facebook. I want to get that in YouTube. Good luck with that. That's not going to happen. Verticals. YouTube has such a vast audience that you can have something with broad appeal, or you could have something that's very niche. It doesn't matter. If someone's making a video about that in YouTube, then you're going to have an audience of some sort. B2C, B2B. B2B is always a little bit more complex as far as reaching those people the right way and getting your message across, but you can still do it. And basically almost any type of audience you can promote on Google YouTube, as long as it's something that's approved by Google. So with YouTube ads, if you really want to make it work, you got to have a mindset shift. A mindset shift thinking about your funnel has to be tight. You got to have something that gives you a high order value. That's the main thing. Because a high order value will destroy any type of media buying tactic that you may have, right? If you can afford to pay $3,000 for a customer, you can spend money all day. It's going to be easier to scale. You're going to get bigger margins, so on and so forth. If you're stuck between, oh, I can only get this customer for $100 or $20, YouTube ads is not the way to go. Now, the important elements for YouTube ads to work. The two most important elements, and this is not just YouTube ads, it's probably any paid traffic campaign that you have, are the funnel and offer. So the offer is, what are you trying to get people to buy? What are you trying to get people involved with? And the funnel is how you present that same offer, and the creative. Those are the two main elements that you need to focus with. With a funnel and offer, you need to know your numbers. You'd be surprised the amount of times I ask somebody, people that, are doing decent numbers in Facebook, and they can't tell me what a lead opt-in conversion rate is, how many of those leads actually buy when they go to the webinar. They don't know those numbers. If you don't know your numbers, then it's going to be difficult to make it work. Once you know your numbers, it's just a matter of reverse engineering, getting certain elements in place, and then from there, it becomes easy. So you really got to know how your funnel converts each step of the way, and you want to use benchmarks. You want to use benchmarks based on your past performance. If you have a funnel that's performing well, really dig down. How many people does it take to, how many people need to go to your landing page to sign up? How many of those people buy on the webinar? So on and so forth. If it's a webinar, depending on the funnel it is. Creative is the ad. So for media buying purposes, the main thing you want to aim for in the creative, or the main things, are you want a lower view rate, and a lower view rate is anything between 18 and 30%. Why is that? You're paying per view. So your job is not to get 1,000 people to your ad and everybody to watch it, and 900 of those people aren't even qualified. You want that whoever gets your ad, if they're gonna view it, they're people that are in your target audience. Like if you're targeting, just say restaurant owners, you wanna make sure restaurant owners are viewing the ad and not just everybody. You need a high CTR. CTR stands for click-through rate. All that means is that every time the people actually start watching the ad, they click on it. You need that to be high, because the way YouTube ads and almost any other platform works, the more people likely to click on your ad, the more they're gonna show it in different places, and the cheaper your clicks are gonna be, because that's how the algorithm makes money. Video. Now, this is the part that gets a lot of people hung up on. A lot of people get hung up on and making a video. Let's say you have a campaign in Facebook and you have a video in Facebook. Could you use that video? Yeah, you can try it out. It may work. There's no need for high value production. You don't have to go and record a commercial or do something crazy. These are types of videos that have worked, that I've seen work very well. Selfie video, the cell phone or webcam. I'm sure you guys seen it, you know, Ty Lopez videos. That's it. You literally grab a phone and you record and you give your message, or you sit in front of a computer and you record yourself. You can also try slides with a voiceover. It's something similar to these slides themselves, or something you see in video sales letters. You can use cartoon animation. Ideally, I personally would say if you're gonna try something, I would just go with a selfie video, show yourself with the cell phone and a webcam. The most important thing is the message and delivery. It's not, I've seen videos with dim lighting and low quality work very well, because it's about the message, grabbing the people at the right time, and talking to the right audience. Now, Facebook versus YouTube. A lot of people, especially if they're already doing Facebook ads, they come into YouTube thinking it's the same thing, and it really isn't. There are some similarities, and the biggest one being that YouTube, of all the Google Ads platforms, YouTube uses algorithmic bidding the best. But there are certain differences, and here's some of the major differences. So Facebook advantages over YouTube. If you're targeting and trying to get leads, they're usually cheaper in Facebook. If you have retargeting audiences, in Facebook, it works really well. You could have, I don't know, a couple of thousand people, and all of a sudden you have 5 ROAS, so on and so forth. In YouTube, not so much. Sometimes the audiences could be 5,000, 10,000 people, and it won't even fire, it won't even spend. The ROAS is up and down, so it doesn't work as well as Facebook. Lookalike audiences perform better than similar audiences. Now, similar audiences are Google's way of creating lookalike audiences, but it doesn't even come close to lookalike audiences. You know, on Facebook, you get the pixel warmed up, you get some customers, you upload them, boom, lookalike audiences. And you have so many versions of that. But in Google, while you can do that eventually, you can upload your list, but you have to have a certain spend and an ad rep, $50,000 spend in your account and a rep. It doesn't work as well. So don't approach it the same way. And tracking in Facebook is better, as actually it's almost too good in Facebook. Facebook even sometimes probably overcounts its conversions, while YouTube's on the other end. YouTube usually undercounts its conversions. So that can get tricky, but there are ways around that if you really have to find out what's the best way of seeing what ad is working. YouTube advantages over Facebook. There's no need to constantly tweak the campaign. You know, once you got a campaign running and humming, it's just a matter of, okay, cool, how's it looking? It's been looking good recently, let me increase the budget, and you leave it be. It takes longer time for ad fatigue. I've ran ads for 4 to 6 months, the same video, and that video, and I'm talking about spending anywhere on the low end between $3,000 a day, on the high end $20,000 a day on that same video for 4 to 6 months. So the ad fatigue is nothing near the way it is on Facebook. YouTube ads, I find it easier to scale once you find a winning creative, audience, and funnel combo. You can get away with saying more things in YouTube ads. I've seen that videos where people are basically guaranteeing you're gonna make money. Just put some disclaimers in the video. Now, as of now, August 2020, that's the case. Like every other ad platform, while YouTube ads has been around for a while, it's just now really getting popular. So like any other platform, I'm sure they're gonna be more restrictive down the road. But right now, you can definitely get away with more stuff there than you can in Facebook. And your account is not as easily suspended. You can get your account suspended, but it's usually because you either are promoting maybe some direct linking to some affiliate product, or you may be promoting something improperly, something that's not within Google's terms. I do urge you, whenever, if you do decide to do YouTube ads, make sure that you control the domain. Because if you do have a situation where your stuff is, where your account is suspended, you can get from the rep. Eventually, they will tell you why we're suspended, what content needs to be changed and removed from the website. And as long as you change that, you can get your account back. So I think that's a huge advantage over Facebook. Finally, how to launch a YouTube ad. So the things that you need before you run the ad. You need to have a Google ad account in good standing. It's free to set up. Go to ads.google.com. It's free to set up if you don't have one. You need a YouTube channel to upload the ad. Once again, that's also free. You can create more than one channel and link that to the ad account. The YouTube ad channels are pretty similar to Facebook pages. You can create more than one. It doesn't matter, and just connect it to your ad account. And you need proper tracking set up. Like I said, in YouTube ads, the pixel tracking, or whatever you want to call it, is not as precise as Facebook ads. But either way, you still want to have it on all the pages that you need to have it. Make sure it's working, because most of your bidding for scale, even in the beginning, is going to be algorithmic bidding. Bidding types in YouTube. So you have what's called cost per view, CPV. So you're paying per each view. I guess it's equivalent of manual CPC in Google search. I don't use that anymore. You have max conversions. You try to get as many conversions with that allowable budget. That's what I usually start out campaigns with, because I want to see what Google thinks or believes that my CPA is going to be. And then you have target CPA. Target CPA, you basically say, okay, I want my cost conversion to be $20. So the machine is going to bid however it has to bid to try to get your cost per conversions at that amount or lower. It doesn't mean that it won't get you a target CPA of 60. It could very well do so. But ideally, the goal is to get it at 20 or lower. And that's something you turn on once you have your account is very mature and has a lot of conversions and is converting at a CPA that works for you and your business. Now, the beauty of YouTube is you have lots of targeting methods. They primarily boil down into two groups, the audience and the behavioral. The audience is going to be based on the video itself, the type of video, what's the video about. While behavioral is going to be about the user. What is the user doing? What do they like to visit? What do they like to do? So I try to list the audiences from the most narrow audience, the most likely to convert, to the least likely to convert, the widest audience. So the first thing you have are placements. Placements are the video URL. So basically when you go to a video and you start seeing how to sing, how to play the guitar, boom, that video has a URL at the top. It's a placement. There are tools that you can use to scrape those URLs and start those campaigns. Tubesift.com is one of them. That's a tool that can be used. Placements are the most likely to work off the bat. The problem with placements is that they may be working, but they probably won't be scalable. Keywords. This is another audience targeting. Keywords is a little bit like placements, but more expansive. So keywords, you type in certain keywords and it's going to target videos that have those keywords in the metadata of the video. And usually like in the title. So if I say YouTube ads, it's going to target almost any video that has YouTube ads in the title. That can be more scalable depending on the offer. If it's a niche offer, it won't be as much. But if it's something like make money online, you can spend $5K a day on that, no problem, if it's working for you. Custom intent. Custom intent is interesting because it looks at your Google search keywords, right? So let's say you got keywords in Google search and you wanted to bid on it, but you couldn't because it was too expensive. You can grab those keywords and you can put it in a custom intent audience. And now, let's say I was looking for attorney right? Now I'm gonna show a video. Hey, you're looking for an attorney? Click on this video now, or you explain, go into your offer, call us, click here to get an appointment right now. So ideally, I always start out with keywords and custom intent. Placements I don't start out with because most of the people I'm gonna work with, they wanna scale. And if I get placements to work, it's the same process that I get something else to work that can be scaled. So it doesn't make sense for me and the budgets I'm dealing with. But if it's your first time and you really want to be precise with your money, start with placements. After that, you have in-market, which is behavioral targeting. So basically within market, Google knows that if you went to Zappos.com and you went to, let's say, Aldo's or some other shoe store site, they know you're in market for shoes. So that's why, you know, sometimes you visit a certain site and you start seeing something related to it, and not necessarily that site. So Google has a lot of in-market audiences already constructed. Let's say at least 50 in-market audiences. So if you have, let's say you're selling something directly, let's say you're selling health insurance. There's an in-market for health insurance. So, and you have the budget and you're more comfortable with spending a little bit more, that's something you could start with, an in-market audience. Custom affinity is another type of behavioral targeting. So custom affinity is you make it up. So affinity itself is, what are you likely to do? Affinity audiences, you have like pet lovers, sports enthusiasts, things of that nature. A custom affinity, you can build it based on keywords, URLs, whatever you want to build. So let's say I want to make a custom affinity for football fans. You know, I'll go to NFL.com, maybe ESPN.com, maybe some other NFL magazine sites, and I'll make that up, and that will target people that are football fans for the most part. These are broad audiences. These audiences can spend with no problem. 5K, 10K, 15K, no problem. Affinity, I already mentioned it a little bit. It's also behaviorals like pet lovers, sports enthusiasts, things of that nature. Topics is audience targeting. I really don't use topics as much, but topics, it looks at, you know, what's this about? So these videos are about investing. Boom. Videos about investing are going to show up. This video is about real estate. You're going to see real estate videos. You're going to see the ads come out in the real estate videos. And then you have broad. Broad is no targeting whatsoever. You can put no targeting, and once the account is mature enough, once the, for lack of a better word, the pixel, just like Facebook, is already knows your audience and everything is set, you can start testing broad. And that, I can say, is obviously scalable as well. So this is my whole process when I'm launching YouTube ads. The holistic view of what I look for. The first thing I'm trying to do is find the best creative, which gives me the best click-through rate and conversion rate. That's what I'm looking for, the best ad. Because from a media buying standpoint, there's assuming that you already know your funnel works, right? From a media buying standpoint, that's the biggest lever you can push on YouTube ads. Because you want to train your account to get the best cost per conversion while remaining profitable. After that, you want to test many audiences. Like I said earlier, I always start with custom intent, keywords, and I also do, if there's enough traffic, I'll do some remarketing as well. And basically, once I have the best ad and I'm testing audiences, I just increase the budget on the winning campaigns, I pause the losers, and on the side, I continually test new creatives and audiences. And that's it. If you need to reach me, it's my Instagram, it's my LinkedIn. And if you have something that's working, let's say working very well on Facebook, 10K a month, you know your funnel numbers, and you need some help and you think you're ready to go to YouTube ads, feel free to reach out to me.